welcome, and for some, welcome back to Hidden Treasures Book Club YouTube channel. I am Jazz, and I will be here on this channel to share with you book recommendations, summarizations, and ratings. If you love books, and if you love to talk about the books that you've read and have conversations about the books that you've read, then this is definitely the channel for you. So I would love it if you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the books that we share. I will be sharing a book with you a week. I'll be telling a little about what the book is about. I'll be sharing my personal opinions. So whether you agree with my personal opinions or whether you disagree with my personal opinions, please comment in the comment section so we can generate that conversation amongst the book loving community. And then I'll also share a rating on a scale of 1 to 10 gems. That's right, we're using gems because this is Hidden Treasures, and with treasures we find gems, not stars. So stick around, check us out. You know, you might find a book that you love because there are plenty of books here. There's no reason for you not to find a book that suits you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to pull the first book out of my chest. And if you caught our first video, then you already know our first book that I am sharing is American Dirt by Jeanine Cummins. So this is the first book that I will be recommending to you guys, American Dirt by Jeanine Cummins. It was a part of Oprah's 2020 book club. It was also a part of Hidden Treasures 2020 book club list. And you can check out all of our books that we've read in Hidden Treasures on our Instagram at Hidden Treasures Book Club. So a little bit about American Dirt. American Dirt is a realistic fiction book, which means that this particular story is not true, but things that happen in this book, things that happen in this story are definitely things that have happened to people and that can happen in real life, though this story is not entirely true. The setting of this story is Acapulco, Mexico. Just a little bit about Acapulco, Mexico. It was, at a time, it still might be, very dangerous due to drug cartel activity and gang activity, which is something that will be addressed in this book. So, in this book, we find our main character, Lydia. Lydia owns a bookstore, which is very fitting for our book club to share the first book, and the main character is a bookstore owner. She's a bookstore owner. She is married to a journalist, and they share a young child, Luca, who's about no older than 7 or 8, right? So, something about journalists, another little tidbit of background, journalists in Mexico. In about 2017, Mexico was one of the most dangerous places for a journalist to live, due to all of the violent activities from gangs and drug cartels happening, and retaliation against news reporters was something that was very high because, you know, they're trying to report the news, they're trying to let their citizens know about what's going on, which is what, you know, the news reporter's job is. But of course, drug cartels do not want you all in their business, so they had to stop that. And that's where I'm just going to leave that. So in this book, we find Lydia and her husband. Her husband is the reporter. He's written a story about Javier. Javier is a very prominent leader of a drug cartel, and he does not like that this story has been released about him. So he retaliates against the family, and there is a bloody massacre that occurs, leaving Lydia and Luca as the only survivors in the family. So I know you're thinking, wow, like you're just giving away the story. I promise I'm not giving away much. That's just the beginning of the book. So that's another thing. If you like a quick beginning, if you like to just hop right into the action, then this book is the book to pick up, because that is the first thing. That's how we are met. That's how we're introduced to Lydia and her son. They've lost their family due to a massacre from the drug cartel's retaliation against Lydia's husband's news report. And the husband is also one of the fatalities in the incident. So Lydia and her son Luca are left to just be on the run. They've decided, well, Lydia has decided that she's going to leave Mexico. She's going to run to the United States, hence the name of the book, American Dirt. They feel that once they make it to America, they will be free of their problems from the drug cartel. So this book follows Lydia and follows Luca on their journey across Mexico's coast to make it to the United States, and all of the hardships that they have to battle, from, weather to dangerous people to coyotes to, making sure they have enough money to make it from Mexico to the United States. So that's just a little background to give you a little bit about what the book's about. Personally, what I enjoyed about this book, or what really made me give this book a very high score, is that, it addresses some issues that are very prevalent and relevant right now to the United States, especially being a citizen here in the United States and seeing it all over the news. Anywhere you look up, the immigration was a big issue. And so me being here and growing up in the United States my whole life, that is, running from something is not something that I've had to directly experience. So reading this book definitely gave me a different perspective on the immigrants' journey and what they have to go through, and reasons why they leave their homes to come to another place to seek refuge. And I realized, 9 times out of 10, no one just wants to uproot and leave somewhere that they've known their whole life just to go to a foreign land. This book has shown me that there's something behind it, whether it be politics and the government, or whether it be, the dangers of drug and gang activity. There are usually reasons why people uproot and leave their homes and go become an immigrant in another country. So that definitely, built some empathy and gave me some compassion and gave me some understanding about, just their journey. Also, another thing I could appreciate is the writer, Jeanine Cummins. Jeanine is, from what I understand and read in her author's note and acknowledgement, Jeanine is not an immigrant or anything like that from Mexico or any other place, but she was able to capture this story. I feel like, in my opinion, she captured the story very well. She was able to immerse me, the reader, into what was really going on. I felt like these were things that she's actually experienced, like she was writing about this from personal experience. But that's not the case. So I can respect Jeanine because I could tell that she did her research. I could tell that, she connected with people who've been in this situation, and that she was able to translate others' experiences and put it into this novel. So I could really appreciate that about her as a writer. And another thing that I learned from her in her acknowledgments and in her author's notes is that she's actually married to someone who was an immigrant. So that also, gave me an appreciation and gave me an understanding of her connection to this story and in writing this novel. So American Dirt, give it an 8 out of 10 gems. It is very high up on the ratings list. It was a very good book. It is something that I would probably revisit again, later on in life. I'm not really one to read books more than once, especially not immediately. It'd have to be years later. But this is definitely a book that I could see myself picking up years later as a refresher and reading it again. So American Dirt by Jeanine Cummins. If you haven't read it, I definitely suggest you pick it up. If you have read it, please join in the conversation with us. Comment here on this video. Tell us how you felt about it. You can check out our Instagram at Hidden Treasures Book Club. Find this book and comment on the picture of this book. Tell us how you felt about it. You can also join in the conversation with us via Twitter at HT Book Club. Send us a tweet. Tell us how you felt about American Dirt, if this is a book that you've read, and if you plan on reading it anytime, hop back on and tell us, join in the conversation. We're here to generate conversation and talk about books. So highly encourage this book. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and start ending this off. But before we get out of here, I want to share with you our next treasure, just to build some excitement. The next book that I will be sharing is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. And if you don't know who Phil Knight is, you definitely know about that check mark, okay? Just do it. Phil Knight is the creator of Nike. Shoe Dog is his memoir. I I'm so excited. This was one of my favorite books that I've read. It's definitely in the top. I didn't think I would like the book like this. So I'm not going to get you too hyped, but pick it up if you haven't. Read it. And if you want to know a little bit more about it, then check out our next video so you can join in on the conversation. But until then, I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. See ya.